Good morning. Welcome to your Wednesday morning, early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, America's kick-ass coach and psychologist. Here with some interesting words for today. The first thing we're taking a hiatus from the book again, but the book we've been working on is Taking the War Out of Our Words. And interesting, when I set up a YEMIG, I'm typing in the title of the card we're going to do and the title of the card deck and the author. Good morning to whomever popped on. And it's interesting to note what the English language does, what the bots do. Good morning, Cindy. When I type in certain words. So our deck for the day is the Power of Surrender deck by Dr. Judith Orloff. And when I typed in surrender 2, the next thing that popped up was the enemy. The enemy. I just thought there's war in our words everywhere. Everywhere. Good morning, Holly. Welcome, welcome. Glad you are here. So begin making note of that. Begin noticing what words auto-populate when you put anything that it makes the assumption has to do with war. Pay attention to the turns of phrase that we use that often reflect this same kind of thing. Even the word surrender. We've had to reclaim surrender from a giving up, losing, fail kind of a thing to being in flow, going with, not fighting against things that are in our highest and best good, right? So I think there's going to be much in our language that has to be tweaked to work with a new way of not having the war in our words. Just an interesting little aside for today. But again, our card is coming from the Power of Surrender deck. And the card is Surrender to the Beauty of the Natural World. And I love this picture because it's a lovely respite from what's actually going on out there today. It was -6 when I took the dog out, and my sister said he should be ashamed of himself because he's a Yooper dog and he's carrying on and limping around and acting like a little hothouse flower that he is. So we got 2 peas, no poos, and tore back for the house, which is fine with me. We spent his first whole winter with me practicing with boots. Didn't go well. Tried a coat, that just scared him. I mean, he's a little sissy. So yeah, so we'll just go out and turn around, pop back in, call it good. Surrender to the beauty of the natural world. So let's take a couple of nice deep breaths. Letting it go. And we're going to take a little journey to the natural world. Whatever part of the natural world you would like to visit. And you may want to just turn it over to your higher self to choose where you're going to go. So eyes closed, not if you're driving, but eyes closed. Just keep breathing. And I want you to allow yourself to be moved, allow spirit to move you to a natural place, a natural setting. You might be at a lake, you might be in the mountains, you might be in the woods, whatever natural setting you're taken to. And we're just going to take a relaxing break there. You may want to walk around, commune with the aspects that are there, the rocks, the trees, the birds, the grass, whatever, wildflowers, just being in that place. And I want you to notice the temperature, because whatever temperature that is probably the one that you have the greatest affinity for. Maybe you are in the snow. Maybe you're seeing beautiful snow-capped mountains, or maybe you're walking through fresh powder, whatever it is. But allowing yourself to replenish, to soak up the positive energy from this natural space. Just feeling that, filling you up. Kind of like going to the gas station and filling up your car. This is going into nature and filling up your being. And I want you to notice if there's any areas of your body that are more receptive to being filled up right now. Might be your heart, might be your solar plexus, might be your throat, third eye, wherever. Your hands. Hands have been busy lately. Welcome to whomever else just popped on. We're just doing a little guided imagery into nature, into a place where you would like to be, where you are right now in your mind. Good morning, Carolyn. Just breathing and being there, replenishing yourself by feeling the beauty that's there. Good morning, Sue. Welcome. We're just doing a little guided imagery into a beautiful space in nature, wherever you'd like to be. My guess is you might land on a beach. But wherever you are, just noticing, bringing all of your senses to the fore. Yes, we all pay attention to what we see in this beautiful place. But what do you hear? What do you hear? You might hear the wind. You might hear birds calling. You might hear the lapping of waves on the shore. You might hear trees rustling. Whatever you hear, little animals scurrying about. Just notice, tune into your sense of hearing. What joy does that bring you when you tune into your sense of hearing? Smell. What do you smell in this place? Perhaps you smell damp leaves. Perhaps you smell salt air. Perhaps you smell, I like it when the trees just begin to bloom. Especially, I think it's cottonwoods. They have a beautiful smell when they're just beginning to open up. I'm not so fond of them when they plug my nose up later on, but they're lovely when they just begin to open. Can you taste anything on the air? Maybe you find some berries. If you're in the woods, maybe you find some berries. And what can you touch in this space? Maybe you run your hands through the water. Maybe you feel the rough bark of a tree, or maybe it's a tree with smooth bark. Maybe you pick up some leaves and feel them. Maybe there's some leaves that have a texture to them, a fuzziness or a waxiness. Just enjoying. Maybe you feel hot sand under your bare feet. Maybe you feel the forest floor. Good morning, Joe. We're just taking a journey into nature here. So wherever you find yourself in nature, just soaking up all of those elements. Maybe you pick up a stone that's been in the sun and it's warm. You can feel the warmth in your hand. Maybe an animal wanders by, not at all concerned about you being there, and allows you to reach out and touch it. Just enjoying being there in nature. We're surrendering to the beauty of the natural world. Couple more nice deep breaths. Letting it go. Good morning, Susan. We're just coming back from a little journey into nature, enjoying the beauty of nature today. Breathing and allowing. One more nice deep breath. Back into your body, refueled, energized, filled up by that beauty of nature. Allowing it to replenish you, fill you up. And now you can go forth into your day. And anytime you choose, you can return to that particular place where you just visited or to another place that comes to mind. A great way to go about doing this is remembering when you've been in places in nature. Well, I remember being at Tequamanon Falls, or I remember being in the mountains in California. Good morning, Jill. I remember being soaring through the air when I did some skydiving, whatever it is that brought you into some kind of natural environment and allowed you. I remember swimming in the river and it carrying us downstream. Whatever you enjoyed, remember that. Go back to that. Allow that to be, because your mind doesn't know the difference between fantasy and reality. So if you're experiencing this thing directly, fabulous. But if you're remembering this thing, that's why we get that feeling of satisfaction when we go back through our memories. It stimulates all of the senses that went along with that experience in the first place, right? So we can re-enjoy those experiences we've had in nature. And another option is create some new experiences in nature. So if you're in a place where it is bitter cold today, Maybe it's standing outside just for a few minutes and really connecting with that bitter cold. Allowing that. Usually we hustle right through it, saying we hate it, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it'd be interesting to spend some time in that frigid Mother Nature and see what you notice about it. So, that is our card for today. Surrender to the beauty of the natural world. I like this green one myself, but that's okay. Whatever it is, it is. So, taking some time in nature today, or to remember nature today, and that is what you're using to fuel you, fill you up, getting you ready for whatever you're... Yes, happy winter solstice, everyone. It is the turning point. It is a turning point. Good morning, Mel. And to allow ourselves to recognize that turning point and honor that turning point. Native people were very good at honoring those kinds of changes. The more urban we've become, the less we attend to that kind of thing. But it really is, you can even Google winter solstice and see what some of the information out there is. Learn about that. Well, yeah, I never pay attention to that, but let's pay attention to that. Good morning, Mel. So, have an awesome day. Take some time to surrender to the beauty of the natural world. Allow it to fill you up. And we'll see you again tomorrow, knowing that we are all capable of far more than we think we are. Bye-bye.